This Xbox VR headset sold out almost instantly. Within 3 days of announcement and launching, it completely sold out. And the crazy thing is there's not really anything new here. I've been able to pair any controllers, and this is just a Quest 3S rebranded. So why are people freaking out over this headset, and why does it matter so much? You know, at first glance, it just seems like a limited edition headset that sold out, but there is so much more to this than just a limited editions headset selling out. This partnership and the fact that there is absolutely nothing new here and it sold out, it means so much for the VR industry, the future of gaming, and what a VR headset even means. So by the end of this video, hopefully you'll understand why this is so much bigger than just selling out Xbox headsets. So let's start with the obvious. You've always been able to pair an Xbox controller, Backbone Pro controller, a PlayStation controller, whatever you want, to your Meta Quest headset. Xbox app has been here for a while, so why does it matter so much that there's an official headset when you could have always done this? Before, it was kind of like, yeah, of course you can do this thing. Of course you can flat screen game on your headset using a controller. Of course you can like work from your headset, etc. But the reason why this makes such a difference is because instead of it just being a behind the scenes, or like, you know, of course you can kind of do this thing, kind of do that thing, instead of it just being this thing that you can kind of like hodgepodge together, this means that it is a prominent feature. This is something that Meta is actively working on, making cloud gaming playable on the Quest headset. That is why this headset specifically coming out means so much for cloud gaming, because before it was just something that you could do if you wanted to. It is front and center. They are selling headsets made specifically for this purpose. So it's no longer a hack, but more so a feature of the Meta Quest VR headset. But why does that matter so much that it's now a feature and not just thing that you can do on the side? Well, it means that the VR headset is not just meant for VR gameplay specifically, but now it's about the utilization of VR headsets. Like, how else can you use a VR headset? You know, consolidating your console, like your Xbox console and your TV, into this one headset. And it's also now portable. Like, you can play this from bed. You can play your Xbox while you're traveling. You can play it literally anywhere now. You don't need to be tied down locationally to your TV and your console. VR is going out of just VR gaming niche and now expanding towards different gaming avenues. You can now use your VR headset, not just VR traditional gaming, but also for Xbox gaming or other like flat gaming, but also maybe this means as an entertainment center. And it's a little weird because, again, if you've been in the VR industry like I have been for, I don't know, almost a decade or so now, you know, flat screen game on your VR headset, you know that you can watch movies from your VR headset. And we've seen this with Apple Vision Pro. Like, this is all things that you could do, but before it was a little bit harder to do, as in you had to hack your way. But now, like with the Xbox headset, for example, everything connected seamlessly, like so effortlessly. Even the Xbox controller paired instantly with the headset. I didn't really have to do anything, and I didn't have to download the app. The app was automatically downloaded to the headset for me, and it opened up. Everything was just seamless process. Now think about this. Of course, we could always watch movies in VR, but you'd have to go into apps like Big Screen or open up like on your browser. Again, there's like friction point to get to the thing that you're trying to get to. But what if there were a specific like movie watching headset, and you know, it will still come with your regular controllers, so if you want to do other things with it. But what if you had a work specific headset where instead of it coming with an Xbox controller, it comes with like a keyboard and a mouse, and all of a sudden, like maybe the screens on it are a lot more high fidelity and you can work extended amounts of time on your headset and it just all works seamlessly. Again, right now you can do this. I have made videos about this. You can use Fluid app, for example, in order to work from your headset, or you can use Immerse to work from your headset. But again, it's like a backwards way of doing it, and that friction point makes it so people don't want to do it. But what if we now have branded headsets specifically for these things that you want to use it for. And now you'll actually have your portable office. So when you're traveling and instead of having to look at your tiny little screen on your computer, you have a headset dedicated for having a portable office. Now I want to remind you of one very important thing as well. Xbox is owned by Microsoft, as you know, and Microsoft has a whole ecosystem of productivity tools and services. With this successful collaboration between Meta and Xbox, I can see them considering other types of collaborations. Now, as you know, Google and Samsung are coming out with their own headset, and it's supposed to be an all-encompassing headset. Pretty sure it will have all of Google, like Gmail, Google Maps, Chrome, all the things. With this successful partnership between Xbox and Meta, I wonder what kind of other partnerships they are now considering, or maybe have already been working on in terms of how to use a VR headset, like Microsoft Office, Teams, Doc, all these things. It'll just be really interesting to see what other collaborations we start seeing with the Meta Quest headset. There's a couple of things with the release of this headset that make me a bit curious as well. I mean, there's some really, really smart moves here. Like, of course, a smart move of having it come already with the Elite strap because it's so uncomfortable with the non-Elite strap. Really smart move with making sure that the controllers are still in there, that it's beautifully branded, that it has the Xbox controller in there. Like, lots of really smart moves. Very annoying move to make it a Quest 3S. Like, as someone who's been using the Quest 3 for such a long time, the Quest 3S, you know, it's a Fresnel lens. So you're seeing all those little rings in the lenses, and that's kind of annoying. And I'm kind of sad that there's going to be a lot of new players that are going to think that that is the standard of what we could reach or accomplish in terms of graphic quality. But like I said, there's some really, really smart moves here. Smart with bundling it with an Xbox Game Pass, the controller, having the app already download into your headset. Oh my gosh. And then on the screen, like when you're playing in headset, and you know, you can of course play in your regular window in mixed reality, but had the option to expand this to be this whole immersive theater. That's so beautiful, and it's such a great way for people to play that they have not been able to play before. And I'm really excited to see Meta do more of these collaborations with other partners. And we know that they love collaborations with different partners because for a while they were just partnered with Ray-Bans for the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, but now they're partnered with Oakley Metas. The main takeaway here really is that it's going to be so interesting to see the VR headset just expand so much further than the current niche of VR gaming. And now it's expanding to immersive and personal entertainment system. I'm excited to see this expanding again for like movie watching or TV watching uses. Imagine watching your favorite show or movie on a massive screen, which most of us can't afford in real life, but you can in a VR headset. And when something happens, instead of it just happening in the screen that you're watching from, all of a sudden your whole environment, like it starts raining in your environment and maybe characters start popping out at you. And I know that Apple Vision Pro has been doing this, but Apple Vision Pro is over $3,000 and Meta Quest is so much more affordable. It's just gonna be something that so many people will now be able to access. Anyway, you know, I know that this headset is sold out, but if you missed this specific headset, don't worry. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see a lot more collaborations in the future, especially with how successful this is. And I'm curious to see what collaborations are going to come next. Now, it was just my birthday less than a month ago, so I wanted to get you all a gift. I am giving away this unopened Quest 3S. Sorry, it was not the Xbox one, but that one sold out. I am giving away this Meta Quest 3S with Batman included in it to one of you lucky viewers. I will have a link in the description for the Gleam giveaway on how to enter, and I'll announce the winner in one of my future videos. So make sure you subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.